Mark leaves his ego at the door.
He just sort of projects this confidence and belief and vision in like what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Where he really gets his joy and energy is from helping others succeed. And that's one really unique characteristic about Mark.
He had his own entrepreneurial journey and he continues it, but I think because of that, he understands the uncertainties of creating your own business and what problems can arise, maybe even before you know that they arise.
Mark had had several businesses before Nordic. One of them there was a downturn, and another one there was some bank that decided the business was doing fine, but they just called in a loan. So there's just stories like that of where it was like doing okay, but for one reason or another, it just didn't work out. And then, you know, on his third or fourth try, whatever it was with Nordic, it finally clicked and it grew like crazy. And then these big investors from out east came and were like, hey, we want to buy half the company. In 2 years, it went from just an idea and they were in some dingy office over on Monroe Street to like, Mark has all the money he could ever need. And he has talked about how that changed his life, and his mission with HealthX is to enable that same thing to happen for other entrepreneurs.
I never would have gone down the path of entrepreneurship if I hadn't met Mark, and it wouldn't have opened the doors that have been opened to me if I hadn't learned from Mark, and if he hadn't mentored me and exposed me to the people that I've been fortunate enough to meet. Mark has been so instrumental in paving the way for entrepreneurs or people interested in entrepreneurship by freely giving his time, his mentoring, and oftentimes his capital to get businesses off the ground.
After Mark's successful entrepreneurial journey at Nordic, he could have packed it in, he could have rested on his laurels, he could have moved to an island somewhere, but he decided he wanted to start HealthX Ventures. Mark was very intentional about starting HealthX in the Madison, Wisconsin area. He's very passionate about Wisconsin. He's contributed to creating nearly 10,000 jobs, and about half of those being in the Wisconsin area.
Mark is an optimistic and generous person who wakes up every day thinking about how he can make other entrepreneurs and the entrepreneurship ecosystem more successful.
We need more people like Mark Bakken to lead people to the path of entrepreneurship, to understand that they don't have to follow a traditional path.
Not only has he had a successful entrepreneurial journey, but he is now investing the lessons he learned and his time and energy into the community, into other entrepreneurs, and continuing to keep that spirit alive.